Gotta stop it and feel better now. Whenever you are in my heart, even when you're gone, I'll be always by your side, and always keep you going back. Can I stop it and feel better now? Whenever you are in my heart, even when you're gone, I'll be always by your side, and always keep you going back.
And I am the owner of Coastal Active Nutrition, and I specialize in sports nutrition for the everyday athlete. So that mama who gets out there and runs, or that guy that wants to do his first triathlon, I'm your girl. But what I actually really wanted to talk about today specifically was about how to stay healthy while you're on the road. And this is super important because I feel like sometimes when we're out of our comfort zone and away from the things that we know, that it can be a little bit hard to stay on course and on track, especially if we have some big goals coming up in terms of a competition or training or any number of things that might be coming up for us. So I just really wanted to give a few little tips and tricks for while you're on the road. So what you just saw was a trip that I went on with my dad. 2 trips actually. It was split up. So we did a road trip down to California from Squamish, where I live in Canada. And then the second one was a road trip out to Kelowna. So the California road trip was about 2 weeks long, and then the Kelowna road trip was, that whole trip was about a couple of days. And so we were in the car quite a bit, especially for our California road trip, obviously, because we were on the road a lot, and it's a long drive to get from Squamish, which is basically like just north of Vancouver, to California, and we hit just outside of San Francisco. And then the drive from Vancouver to Kelowna is about 4 hours. So it's not too bad, but it still comes back to not having your comforts with you and the foods that you know and the places that you know where to get your foods from. So one of my number one tips that I tell a lot of people when they're going traveling and they really want to stick true to their goals is I'm a big believer in finding accommodation that actually has a little kitchen. Even if it's a little kitchenette, but ideally if you can find something that has a really great kitchen that you can use, go for it. I will spend a little bit of extra money and actually get a kitchen, because then I'm not buying food out all the time at restaurants, not knowing what they're putting into it, or even it can be tough to control your portion sizes when you're actually eating out at a restaurant. So I like to try and opt for a kitchenette or a kitchen accommodation. I love to use Airbnb. That's probably my number one, my favorite place, and what we primarily used. And it was really great. So it kind of felt like that home away from home. And we basically just went to local Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or whatever was near us and around us at the time, and picked some food that we could have. We also ended up purchasing a few different things for lunches as well, and kind of pre-made our lunches too, so that we could keep costs low and ensure that we were getting some really nutrient-dense foods and meals, which was really, really, really great. Another tip is that we actually made sure that we had snacks on hand. So having a few snacks on hand as well in the car was perfect because it avoided us buying a ton of like little sweet, sugary, refined things if we stopped in at Starbucks. Because if we did stop in at a coffee shop or a Starbucks somewhere, that we could just grab a coffee or grab a tea, and rather than being like, oh, I'm gonna get that bagel or I'm gonna get that oat bar or whatever it was, I would just be like, no, I've actually got some really great tasty food in the car, so I am good to go. But yeah, having the snacks on hand was really, really, really helpful. I actually even made a few snacks beforehand. So I have these energy balls that I make and I love them, and they're filled with coconut oil and cashews and cacao and so many other really great tasty things. And so I took those with me as well for us to munch on, and that was really good because it kept us satiated. And if we were going to go do a hike or if I was going to go for a run, then I could just pop one of those either before or after, and it was quick, easy, nutrient dense, good to go. So another great tip as well that I love to do is that I actually like to do a little bit of research ahead of time, depending on where we're going to be, to figure out what restaurants and what cafes are going to be around. So I'll actually ask my friends or ask people if they might know of somewhere that has really great, good quality food that we can try out that they would recommend. And then I make a little list, and if we are going to eat out, which I love to do when I'm in a new place, definitely, just to try and see what they have. And so we'll go there and we'll give it a go and we'll check it out, and we'll go that way rather than just stumbling, rather than necessarily stumbling on something random and the food isn't that great a quality. Although there is some fun in that. You can be adventurous, but if you, as I said, if you really have goals that you want to stick to, then that's a really great way to do it. So just seek the advice from friends on what they know and love and would recommend. Another really great tip too, and what I actually ensured that I had with me, was my supplements. And with that, I made sure I had some vitamin C, my B vitamins, magnesium, probiotics as well. And this will differ from person to person depending on your needs. But I find sometimes travel can definitely throw our systems out of balance, and we can find that things just don't feel quite the same, or our routine gets thrown. And so having a little bit of help with vitamin C, which is really great anti-stress, and your B vitamins, which gives you energy, that can help us get into that can help us get into our routine while we're on the road. And magnesium is super great in being able to relax you as well. So if you have a little bit of trouble sleeping somewhere new, sleeping somewhere that's not your bed, then magnesium might be a great option for you in order to help calm you down. And also meditating as well. That can be really, really great. So just that visualization piece to help you calm and get into the swing of things too. So I hope those tips really, really helped. They're just a few really quick tips. So number one, if you can, find a kitchen or accommodation with kitchen and do your own food shopping. And that really not only cuts down on expenses during a probably maybe already expensive trip, but it also ensures that you know what's going into your food. You can control portion sizes, and you can just stay on task if you have a meal plan you're following, or strict regimen depending on what goals you might have coming up. Number two, keep snacks on hand, some healthy snacks. So find some snacks that you really love, make your own. Even if you're going on a road trip, that's a great option. Some really great healthy snacks could be like a fruit and nut mix or a nut mix. As I suggested, I make energy balls, which is on my blog. But you could have any number of snacks, fruit even, just something really healthy, really nutrient dense that's going to keep you nice and full and avoid you getting those sweet, sugary, refined treats. Although they're allowed, you're on holidays, but if you're, sticking to a plan, which I understand, that's a good option. And then thirdly, take your supplements. If you have your supplements, have a bit of a plan of like meditation in the evening. If you find it tough to fall asleep somewhere new, go for a walk. A really big tip that I recommend to people as well, if they're changing time zones drastically. So it's not so bad going from, like, say, Vancouver to Australia. I find that I can adjust pretty well, but coming back can be really tough. So for some people, taking melatonin might be of benefit, but it's different from person to person. So just adjust where you're going and what you're doing. And then finally, seek out the advice of your friends of some really great new places to go that have an awesome menu that's super nutrient dense and really supportive of you and your goals. And check them out and see what ones you really liked and what you could find, and then compile your own list that you can pass on to friends too. And then just take note as well. So what might, just another little quick tip, what might be really, really helpful for people is to actually share portions. So I know in the US I do this quite often because portion sizes are really big. So that could be a really great option for you as well, as to share with a friend. Anyway, I hope these tips really, really helped you. And if you have any more, please share, because I'm always looking for new tips. And I'm sure anyone who's watching this video is also probably looking for an abundance of tips too. So please share below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, because it really helps and supports my channel. And stay tuned for the next video coming up. I post them once per week, all around nutrition, movement, and mindset. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day.